So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD and welcome to this informational video where I'm going to be talking to you about the future of Call of Duty. Now, yesterday Activision announced that Call of Duty 2014 is going to be developed by Sledgehammer Games, and there's been like a constant kind of heated debate of like people thinking who's actually going to be making this year's COD. Is it going to be Treyarch, who are kind of being very sneaky about it, and was it going to be Sledgehammer? And it kind of looked a bit iffy on both sides, because both were offering kind of important job roles, and like at a time where, you know, they're close to announcing what the actual game is going to be. It's kind of weird that both sides had such crucial like job roles still like being advertised. So it's kind of weird, but Sledgehammer have announced that they're going to be creating this year's Call of Duty, which means that we are not going to be getting zombies this year. And I'm sure that has kind of upset a lot of people, including myself. Treyarch left us on an incredible cliffhanger with Origins, and we're like, whoa, is that really what happened with the story? Like, was it all a game? And we still won't find out until 2015. When I found out that Sledgehammer Games were developing this year's Call of Duty, I was a little bit annoyed, but I did think about it, and when you actually think kind of deep about it, it might actually be beneficial. So now that Sledgehammer Games are developing this year's Call of Duty, it's changing the cycle in which Call of Duty games are developed. Normally it's always a switch between Treyarch and Infinity Ward, so they both have 2 years to develop their games and then release them, and then go ahead and create the DLC. And whilst creating the DLC, they're still going to be working on the next Call of Duty title, which means that the whole time schedules are really tight. Now, with this new Sledgehammer Games cycle being thrown in the mix, we now have 3 different developers, so we're going to be seeing a game from each developer every 3 years. So if you think about these developers, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, each having more time on to develop each game that they're creating, is going to allow them more time to perfect it and to add stuff in. Now, of course, we want our zombie fix right now, and I'm afraid we're going to have to wait for that. But when you think about it, the longer we wait, that just means the more time Treyarch are going to get onto polishing zombies and creating something incredible. Now, I'm going to drop you guys a theory, and this is pure speculation here, but if we look at Black Ops 2, the first maps, Transit and Die Rise, were made by the Zombies team, obviously. Mob of the Dead was made by the single player team, Buried was made by the zombie team, and Origins was a mix of both single player and the zombie team. So when we look at these maps, we can kind of gather that the maps made by the single player team were actually a lot more popular than the actual Zombies team. So I'm guessing for Treyarch's next game, they may either get a new team of single player people in and have the original single player work on the zombies, because they know what they're doing and they know what works and what doesn't, or they could have people again working on the single player, which they did for Black Ops 2, as well as working with the zombie team on the maps for the next Call of Duty game by Treyarch. So you might be thinking, who are Sledgehammer Games? Because you may not have heard of them before. And in actual fact, they've worked on a Call of Duty in the past. Well, they actually helped co-develop Modern Warfare 3 with Infinity Ward. I believe it was a single player. So we haven't actually seen what Sledgehammer can do when they get to create their very own game. So this could be something very different to any Call of Duty we've had before. Now, I doubt that there'll be any sort of change with the engine. We're still using the same engine since Call of Duty first started, the Quake 3 engine. It's just always been a slightly upgraded, modified version. And I don't think we'll get a new engine until maybe Treyarch's COD, which could be very interesting. Could add a whole new element to how Zombies is played, as well as COD in general. But it's going to be interesting to see what Sledgehammer can do. I'm not going to say that they might not pull off a good job, because we have no idea what sort of game we could be getting. Additionally to that as well, with every single Call of Duty now, we're having some sort of extra co-op mode. With Treyarch is obviously Zombies, with Infinity Ward we've now got Extinction, so it would kind of make sense for Sledgehammer to include some sort of co-op mode, maybe just some sort of horde mode where you just have to survive a bunch of rounds of, I don't know, some sort of enemies coming at you. May not necessarily be zombies or aliens, but something else. But it just feels like with every Call of Duty now, we've sort of grown used to having this extra custom co-op mode, so it should be interesting to see what Sledgehammer can do. And that's why I'm not going to look at this as a bad situation, because yeah, we're not getting zombies until next year, but Sledgehammer could bring us something completely new and amazing and really change things. Because we've always been used to Treyarch and Infinity Ward. We kind of knew what we were expecting with every new game that they've created, but now we've got Sledgehammer in the mix. It could make things really, really different. I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section what you think of this news. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be pretty annoyed at the fact that zombies isn't coming back this year, but that just means it's going to be even bigger and better next year. That's the way I'm going about it anyway, and I look forward to see what Sledgehammer have got for us. So if you want to stay updated with anything new to do with the new Call of Duty game coming up this year, be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep yourself updated, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.